And if you're like me, you're probably waiting for the recent browser update. But for right now, we're going to be talking about unqualified advice. Now, today's unqualified advice, simply put, is just talking about self-advertising, how it's a little bit like hoarding yourself out a bit. And on top of the fact that there's a time and there's a place for self-advertising no matter what. And I think it definitely is necessary for a upcoming YouTuber's journey to do, but only at a certain point. That's just my overall thought. Now, this whole topic of debate kind of got started because somebody wrote on my John Wick review called SZ Entertainment. They pretty much wrote, and I'll read the comment off, not to call them out, but just simply put, great review, man. Love your stuff. We just uploaded our review of John Wick Chapter 2 as well. And would love for you to check it out. Now subscribe, exclamation points to really make them seem like they're overly excited about your work. Now, I have no problem with self-advertising because I feel like everybody tends to do, and everybody kind of whores themselves out at the beginning of YouTube to get noticed. And that's okay because I've done it myself. And I think it's an easier way to kind of move up the ladder of success, even though it will eventually take very long to kind of get there. I think that's a good way to at least jump 2 steps just to begin with. But overall, like I said, there's a time and there's a place for it. If you're starting out and you have 5 subscribers, whatever, and you put in a lot of quality into your videos, put in a lot of editing, a lot of footage, whatever it may be, and then you're essentially starting out, there's a good chance a lot of people may or may not actually give a shit about your video. Why? Not necessarily because of the quality, but particularly because, like I said, there's a big cesspool of things. People are more willing to check out somebody that has 1 million subscribers rather than somebody that probably has 5 subscribers, and they actually might have a better effort in their videos than somebody that has millions or whatever it may be. It's just that YouTube is a big cesspool or whatever it may be of reviews, and just like right at this moment, somebody's probably uploading a video, like boom, there it is. Somebody just uploaded a review of fucking, the Great Wall or something. But that's just the simple truth. Now, overall, when you put in self-advertising, you got to be a little bit less obvious. There's always a lot of bullshit people that kind of just be like they're spamming your page, and a lot of people that are diehard fans of that person of the channel, they tend to defend them, just be like, get your fucking shit out of here, go kill yourself, get the fuck out of my face, you're putting your shits in caps, and nobody gives a fuck about your channel, your shitty things. And that's the thing, that's what people kind of do. That's YouTube in a nutshell. They're very negative, but there also could be some positive stuff. If you're gonna write it on my channel, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because I'm happy to kind of help out somebody that is also a struggling YouTuber like my fellow self. But if somebody's right on my channel, I actually kind of find it a little bit flattering in some way that they actually think that I can help them get advertised or add subs. But the problem is, if you're only doing essentially a sub for sub, you're just kind of getting hollow subscribers. People that aren't really dedicated to you, they were only dedicated to that sub that you did for a sub, which is pretty much what this person at SC Entertainment, as well as others, have pretty much just done in the past. Like I said, if you're going to self-advertise, you got to just simply say, look, I'm a struggling YouTuber, whatever it may be, I'm new, whatever, try to check out the channel. But if you're going to do it on constant pages, remember, even though YouTube is a big place, word gets around, and comments could sometimes just get linked up to each other, and somebody sees you pretty much self-advertise on one page, they can see you self-advertise on another. And that's just the simple truth. I've seen it before, and then I called people out on that bullshit before, and that's just kind of what it happens. Now, I've done it myself, self-advertising, but that only gets you to a point so far before you have to realize that you just have to simply put hard work effort into it. Yes, it may take a year before you fully get even 100 subs or whatever, but at the end of the day, I guess hard work probably will eventually pay off. Now, like I said, if you have about 10 subscribers and you are trying to self-advertise, I don't have a problem with that, because like I said, it is very difficult to kind of get noticed on YouTube with all these big people around just to begin with. So I'm willing to help people out just to be at the end of the day, but you also got to realize there's a point, there's a time and there's a place to really do it. Most people do it so cringeworthy to the point where it's just like, yeah, here it is. But then the bullshit people is just that, well, and especially for SC Entertainment, it's just that they be like, we really love your stuff. We enjoyed your review. Awesome stuff, man. Subscribed. Then it's just like, well, did you really enjoy it enough? Because I'm checking out my pages right now, and John Wick Chapter 2, my review, it didn't go up by likes. It seemed like you didn't like it enough to actually hit that like button. But for some reason, you liked it enough for me to kind of see your comment and say, hey, look at our pages and check this shit out. One, I'm just going to say this right now. I don't know if anybody doesn't think about it, but for me, I actually pretty much pay attention to my channel enough to the point where I can tell if somebody's bullshit and hits that like button, subscribe button, or whatever it may be, and that's just simple truth. Now, if you don't subscribe or you don't answer their comment that pretty much is self-advertised on your page, obviously you can either delete it, it hits in the spam folder, or simply put, you can check out the channel, and you might actually like their stuff. Now, I haven't checked out this channel yet, but If it's good stuff, then sure, why not? I'll subscribe, whatever it may be. But at the same time, they also didn't hit a like. Now, that makes me sound like an asshole, but then again, I'm not the one self-advertising. That's just the simple truth. Now, I'm not a big deal on YouTube. That's obviously very, simple. That's very obvious right now. But the fact that these people are putting their names on my channel, it definitely kind of makes me be like, okay, well, maybe I'm in some sort of position to kind of help these guys out. But it is what it is. When you self-advertise, you do kind of look like a bit of a whore, trying to tell people, well, this is what we can do for you, and then this is what we want to return. Essentially, this is what we can do. We can do videos. We can do video game reviews. Here it is. And then in return, we kind of want that $100 that a whore pretty much gets back after doing a blowjob, which is pretty much the likes, comments, or subscribes shit. That's pretty much the basic point. Now, overall, like I said, self-advertising is fine if you want to do it. I recommend you actually do it, but once you get to about 100 subscribers, you simply put, just got to work your way up, because if you're doing that for almost every day, that shit is tiring. And I've done it before for almost like 2 weeks straight to kind of get people to, spark some interest, and people will pretty much tell you, go fuck yourself. But you're going to have to kind of push on and move forward. That's just a simple case. If you're willing to get hollow subscribers from them shits, go ahead, do it. It's okay. But like I said, it's only a certain point. It gets to a certain point where you're just kind of tired of that shit and you don't really want to do it. Now, it's very hard to kind of like get people or become buddies with people on YouTube unless you kind of self-advertise. And you can't really be like, hey man, high five, let's make a video together. Nobody's really going to give a shit. You have to kind of self-advertise, then you kind of comment on people's pages, you build up their relationship, and then that's how it is. That's how I met people on YouTube. But then again, at that point, you start to just kind of get a little bit bored or whatever, and then you start to lose interest. You may not hit the likes, you may not see the video, may not do whatever, but that is what it is. That's YouTube. People grow apart in real life. It is what it is. But overall, like I said, self-advertising serves a purpose to get people to a certain peak of a point, because if you have 100 subscribers, people at least start to tend to notice. It's not necessarily about the number or the quality, but it's just somehow if you're in somebody's peripheral vision inside of their rear view, then people may actually pay attention. But overall, like I said, self-advertising, there's a point to it. I don't mind it, because I think everybody should do it at some point if you're struggling. But don't do it to the point where you're higher than the person you're advertising page on. For example, like if somebody's like self-advertising, right, and they got 5,000 subscribers and they coming to me, they're essentially trying to use you like you're a piece of shit. They'd be like, sure, let me just, use this person that has less subs than me and to try to get more subs or whatever. It'd be like, fuck you. If you have a little less, then I'd probably be like, okay, sure, let me help you out. Because I'm in a decent enough position to kind of help someone. Let me do that. But for somebody that's higher and trying to, take advantage of the little guy, I say go fuck yourself. That's just a simple truth. But then again, that's just my thought and that's just my opinion. But then again, also, what makes me qualified? Comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.